Thank you all. I get to talk. Marcus told me to talk into the mic, so I'll make sure I do that. How's that, Marcus? So, Andrea, you're going to cover the charts for me, right? Thank you so much. It's easier. So, first and foremost, I don't want to be holding us up. We have a great get-together afterwards, so I'll try to be brief. Miss Jan and Nay put together a nice little chow-how for us. So, coming to unity itself, I kept hearing about silent unity and, seeking in my journey with my spirituality. And then, something popped up about the Fillmore Festival. And the Fillmores, as you know, are the founders of Unity. And the festival was 100 years of the Daily Word, which I like the Daily Word. And so it just sparked an interest. And I was just thinking about going, and then I decided at the last second to go, and I'm glad I did. As you know, that picture right there is on the grounds of the Unity Village, established in the late 1800s by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and they used the prayer and affirmations, and she used prayer and affirmations for healing. And then Charles and their friends became interested in their healing process, and over time, the Unity movement started. Small groups, the circles that we have, and now where we are today with Unity All International. So that is about a football field long pool right there with roses all around it, beautiful. It's the first thing that I saw when I got there after I checked in. It started with 58 acres, and it's well over, I think, 1,000 acres now. It's just southeast of Kansas City. So the first thing I want to say, we want to stop before going there. I want to say that I'll give you from the Bible, Philippians 4:13, is that I can do all things through him who also strengthens me. So for the 100 years, let's change the slide, Andrea. That's Unity, the facility, and the tall building in the center there is a water tower, actually. It was a pretty cool thing, Building 300. That main building right there in the foreground is where the Daily Word is. The actual Daily Word was written for many, many years, and now they actually outsource it. But we went through there as a group, pretty cool facility. And they still do the small brochures and different things that you see, like this Unity pamphlet here. But the Daily Word is outsourced now. There's so many of them. I don't even know, thousands of them are printed worldwide. And so why did I go? Like I said, I like the Daily Word. And I was interested in the silent unity. I've been hearing that about what that's about and the power of prayer. You can change the slide. So that's me over there, if you can't see there. But that was August the 22nd, and that's the Daily Word of August 22nd. And that person pointing to the Daily Word is the editor of the Daily Word. Pretty cool. She was the first person that spoke. There were about 15 reverends that spoke there about the common thread for the festival, for the 3-day festival, was let go and let God. And each reverend that spoke, they're amazing reverends, which I'm following about 3 of them now on their Facebook pages. They shared the Daily Word and what was important to them about the Daily Word, and then the theme again, let go and let God. So that's, I forget her name. She was really cool. I said, I want to get a picture with you, and I want to share, and I like pictures, as you know. So that was August 22nd, editor. Pretty cool. Go on to the next slide. Thanks, Andrea. That's right there is the actual library of the Fillmores, where all the Daily Words are and all his writings. Pretty cool. To the left in there is a Dewey Decimal System. You can see the library books there, Dewey Decimal. But I looked through that, I like records and stuff. But inside to the left is a closed-in, air-conditioned, humidity-controlled room where all the old, many books of the Fillmores are there, and they're actually digitizing all his records, which is an $8 million job. Amazing. Go on to the next. That's me. Can you see that? I'm sitting at Charles Fillmore's desk. Pretty cool. That's his office. And all the Daily Words are in the back there in the bookshelf and everything. So he passed away, I think in the 40s or something like that. I'm not actually sure when he did, but I was able to go in there and see that. Pretty neat. enjoyed that. There was a dozen reverends there that spoke again about the daily word. And so let's go on to the next picture. So this right here is a daily word from November 24th, 1961. Why is that significant? Well, that's the day I was born. So I actually saw it there, and I like it. I don't have it here, so I'll look at it right here, but look at that. God's presence goes with me each step of my way. When we turn to God for guidance, he not only shows us the way that is expedient to follow, his promise is, my presence shall go with thee. So that was my daily word of the day, in which everybody that was in the conference, there was the library of all the there were hundreds of copies of the daily word, but everybody looked at what theirs was and what the day they were born and what was the daily word of that day. So that was pretty cool. And, Exodus on the bottom there, 33, is to show me now thy way and be said and shall be go with thee. So that's pretty good for me. I was born on a good day and a good biblical term. Go on to the next, please. Just I'll reflect here. I stayed on the grounds. They have an amazing hotel facility there, and it was very, very nice. I'd expect it to be something old, maybe motelish or something like that, but trust me, it was very, very nice, and I was so glad. I actually went there. I called to get a reservation there. The place was full, so they said go to the Hampton Inn out in town. I was kind of bummed about that, but I could put my name on a waiting list, and I'm telling you, it was divine, because within, I'm going to tell you, 40 minutes, they called me and said there was a room open, and I was able to get a room, and I stayed there, which was great. They had a great breakfast, and the food that was there for the conference was good. So I'll lead into at the end about that. But that's one of the pools. That's right by the pool. Again, there's that water tower in the back. They enclosed that whole water tower. Pretty neat. I wanted to go up the top of there. They wouldn't let us go. But it was a beautiful place, and very reflecting. A lot of meditation. People there were all like-minded. Pretty cool. You talk in the same language, and then really, it was very amazing for me. And some of the reverends there had, it was a reverend there, just like Reverend Judy. She talked about, I am not alone. An affirmation she talked about was aligning with the spiritual truth that our intellect is not bad. There's just more than that. And from Myrtle, she talked about that you keep your appointments with God. And tune out the outer nose. Tune out the outer noise and be nourished by that and be proactive with the Christ mind. So it was pretty cool. Those reverends were very awesome and brought some really good stuff there. Lots of reflection, lots of meditation. Each day we started with meditation, got quiet, and you can tell every time I come up here I want to do that now because it's very powerful, getting quiet and getting some of God's word in you, coming through from him, through us to you, hoping that somebody gets that message. A really cool reverend that was there, she is the reverend at the Unity Temple Plaza of Kansas City. Very beautiful place, just up the road. I went there on the Sunday when I left. She talked about GPS. What is GPS? It's God's positioning system. It's an unlimited Wi-Fi, and there's no spot that God is not. Pretty neat. And she also said, and I really like, these are some things I wrote in my notes this morning from what I took, that a thunderstorm is an open sky. Pretty cool. So think about when you see that. Again, that theme was let go and let God. Let's go on to the next slide. So this is cool. Behold the Christ in you. That was on where Silent Unity is. That's right where that's at. And that was Silent Unity is up above inside that building there. We weren't allowed to go in there. There were people actually praying there. I talked about that before. I think they said like 6,000 prayers, I think a day or a week, come in from all of us throughout the world. And there's over 200 people that are remote now. And there are people that are there that are that they stay right there and do prayers. And if you send a prayer that, I'm like the prayers that just went up today for somebody who's just lost their business or whatever that prayer is. If you send that through Silent Unity, it goes there, and there are over 200 people that say that prayer for you for 30 days. So I encourage you to do that. I did it. I put one online and did it, and they said that we received it, Doug, and we'll continue to do those prayers for you. So Silent unity is a very powerful thing, and the power of prayer is very important. Let's move on, please. So this is a labyrinth. Now, I didn't know what that was. I thought it was like a maze, and it is similar to a maze, but a labyrinth is just outside the doors of the Fillmore Chapel. You can see where Unity founders Charles and Myrtle, they prayed and lectured and taught classes. So what was very cool about this was built by two people, a husband and wife. They took them about a year to build it. And it is like a maze, but it is for meditation. And it's there. It's the largest handmade, man-made one, I think in the United States, probably the world. But it's all little blocks. You can see them in the base there, little bricks that were put in there. And they leveled that whole ground out and did that. And what was cool about that, if you go, I think, to the next slide, Andrea, I think I got it. Yeah. We started off, I didn't share this picture, but we started off with, we all stood in line, and it was cool. Then they had a bowl, they put all these affirmations in it, and then you reached into the bowl and you grabbed an affirmation. This was mine. I am radiating center of divine life and energy. Health is my divine birthright. So I took that and read that, and then just walked around there in quiet, in meditation. Can you go back on the slide? And you can go back one, there you go. So you walk, and you don't run into anybody else. You don't. You just continue going. You go to the center. You can sit and reflect if you want. But it was very powerful. I kind of filmed myself walking. I actually went barefoot. It was pretty neat. It was nice there. And like I said, a lot of meditation, spiritual, like-minded people. And that labyrinth was pretty powerful because I just kept thinking about next slide, what was given to me out of the blue. I am radiant center of divine life and energy. As we all know that, your source of energy is that divine power that's within of us, inside our core. And we reach to God or whoever that source is to you to ask for that wisdom and knowledge to go through you to others. And that's the light that's within us. And that's what I'm seeking. And that's why I went to Unity Village. Next slide. So my takeaways, there's another angle. That's that fountain that was lit up at night. The pool, there were hundreds of people there that weekend. It was just so gorgeous there. I would encourage you, if you had the time, it's worth every nickel to go there and just be with like-minded people. And the spirituality of all the people that were there was amazing. And then the connections, that's the last and final, my takeaway. The connections there. Now, not only we have our wonderful Unity here, which started me off here, but there's so many other Unities that are out there that have, there's Unity Prosperity, a man that speaks, Dr. Cause and Effect. I love him. I met him, Dr. Kosnakia, whatever he is. I think he's from Florida, but he does Unity Prosperity every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I listen to that. It starts my day. And then there's other great unities throughout that people that I met that I've listened to now. They're on at 10:30 at the same time that we are, so I get to listen to the recordings later. But my takeaway was to give to you that if you get that little thought in your heart and in your mind to do something like that, do it, because I wasn't going to go. I was thinking about the money and have better things to do. And then a friend of mine, my best friend, said, you ought to, you spend so much money on everybody else. Why don't you spend some money on yourself? And I did. And I'm so glad I owe that gratitude for that, because that's what I did. And everything lined up perfectly. The place to stay, the car that I drove was $26 a day. It was a Volvo, like a G60, probably like a $60,000 car. I'm driving through Kansas City in this amazing car for $26. That worked out. The food was great. And last and finally, you go there if you have a gluten issue if you want to eat gluten-free or vegetarian or vegan or whatever way you want. They had a little stand that said, I'm vegan. You put it by you, and they make sure your food is taken care of. So simple things like that made it really nice, and the place was amazing. So if you have the opportunity, that's my takeaway. I don't think there's anything else. Is that the last slide? So divine love through me, we'll get to that. So enjoy your rest of your day, and I hope you picked up a little nugget from my prayers. Thank you.